Hello everyone, I'm Hans, and today I'm going to talk about this study. The topic is migration and habitat of white sharks in the eastern Pacific Ocean. And first, I would like to introduce the white shark. The white shark is in the Lemdi family, and this group has two features. The first feature is they have spatial muscle structure. They have centralized muscle, and this centralized muscle can help them to swim very fast. And the other is their heat exchangers. The heat exchangers can help them to adapt to different water temperature, so that they can dive very deep. And this feature is very important for the white shark. And now look at this map. This map is the shark aggregation site and their migration path. The right point shows where the shark aggregates. There are California, Eastern Canada, South Africa, and Southern Australia. And the yellow line shows how they migrate. And the first migration path is between California and Hawaii. And the other path is between South Africa and Southern Australia. And this study is focused on this area. Now, in California coast, we know the shark hunt in winter and fall. But in spring and summer, we didn't know where the shark went. It's a seasonal mystery for shark. In previous study, they suggest that the shark might go to the Gulf of California to mate or give a birth. But this is not true. In new findings say that the sharks swim to the pelagic ocean. They swim much further than we thought. So based on this mystery, this study has two research purposes. First one is to investigate the shark seasonal migration patterns, and the other is to comparing their habitat use patterns between Nearctic and pelagic ocean environment. Okay, and this slide is their materials and methods. The research team used the pop-out satellite tags, and this tag is special. When the study finishes, the tags will automatically fall off from the shark, and it will float on the surface. Then the research team can use the satellites to get the detailed data. And the data analyzed, they use the light and sea surface temperature-based geolocation and kernel density method. And they also research their movement patterns and diving behaviors. And this is their data recovery and tracking effectiveness. The research team deployed 29 tags and successfully recovered the data from 20 sharks. And then they even get physical packs. And in the after presentation, I will focus on these two sharks. There are 17U and 18F. And in this study, they collect an average of 167 days, and the shark visit about 945 locations. Okay, and this is a result. There are 4 maps, and their 4 maps represent the shark seasonal activity density. In autumn and winter, we can see the shark near the California coast. But in spring and summer, they move away the coast and swim to the core area. And this hotspot is the core area, and it also has a special name. The scientists call it the White Shark Cafe. And these two charts is their activities in nearshore and offshore. The y-axis is the depth, and the x-axis is the date. The color is the temperature in each depth. And from last slide, we know the shark move away the coast and stay in the core area in February to August. And the rest of the time, they stay in California coast. So in near shore, we can see they tend to stay near the surface. The deepest point just about 100 meters. And in offshore, they dive up and down almost every day. And the deepest point can reach up to 600 meters. Okay, and this is the discussion. This map shows the shark migration path and where they go. And I will discuss 4 locations. First is nearshore habitat and traveling west, offshore focal area, and main Hawaiian islands. And in this study, there is an interesting thing. The research team found that the male shark live earlier than female shark. They live about 2 months earlier. And the scientists suggest that the female shark need to store more energy to swim to the pelagic ocean. Okay, and the first stop is the California coast. And the right chart is their distribution. The y-axis is the depth, and the x-axis is the time of the day. The color is represent how many time they spend at the deep. And the white line is the sunlight hours. In California coast, we can see they stay near the surface because there are many pinniped on the coast. And what is pinniped? Pinniped is such as seals or sea lions. And they are good food for sharks. So the shark will stay near the surface and eat them. But in spring, there is food list. And the shark will be attacked by the killer whales. So the shark leave the California coast. And after they leave, they travel west and go to the core area. Their path is very straight, not curved. And according to previous study, they suggest that the shark might use the star or the moon for navigation. And we can see the chart. The shark dive more deeper. Okay, next they arrive the White Shark Cafe. And in this chart, we can see the shark dive to the deeper sea during the day. And there are 2 possible reasons. The first one is foraging, because there are many fish in the deeper ocean. So the sharks will dive and find the food. And the other reason is to mate or give a birth. But the young shark is also go to the core area. So this reason might not be correct. And finally, they arrive main Hawaiian islands. In Hawaiian islands, their lifestyle is same as California coast. They eat the pinniped and whale placentas. And why they stay near the surface? Because this is their hunt style. They look up and use the sunlight to see the shadow of the prey. So they eat them from below, attack them from below. Okay, and this is the study research conclusion. The seasonal migration patterns in autumn and winter, they stay near the California coast. And in spring and summer, they migrate to the White Shark Cafe and go to the Hawaiian Islands. And the behavior in nearshore and offshore, when they are in near shore, they close to the surface for foraging, and in offshore, they dive up and down almost every day. But the reason for this behavior remains unclear in this study. Okay, this is my presentation. Thanks.
I want to ask, what kinds of the foods do sharks eat when they are in Hawaii?
They eat the pinniped, such as seals and sea lions, and eat the whale baby. Yes.
Thank you.
I want to ask the material and method. You said about the days and track data.
Check out the chart.
Why their days have a large difference?
Because the text will be destroyed by the shark in the sea, so they can recover not very average data.
In the conclusion, you say that the white shark will attack their prey from the deeper ocean, but like in the white shark cafe, it's different, right?
Yes.
Like why they do that?
Because in Hawaii, the pinniped just swimming on the surface, so they near the surface. But in the core area, they just can eat the fish, so they need to dive to a deeper sea and eat.
I think Hans, he gave a very smooth talk and not too fast, not too slow, very easy to understand, and the PowerPoint was well made, but there are some places where you can improve. So let's go to the start, where overall you use pointer, but not often enough. And more often, because you have certain amount of number of text, without using pointer and without highlights, like highlight your keywords, and it's sometimes difficult to know which point, here, or here, you are talking about. Something you can improve next time. And during this talk, you look at them from sometimes, but can be more often. Okay. And this one is okay, but as I said, because you have relatively more text, use some color to highlight. And did you make this yourself? Oh, this is nicely done, really nice. And then highlight keywords here and use pointer. And I was trying to follow, but I feel that sometimes your line doesn't really match the text that much. This wouldn't be a problem if you always use pointer, but would be a problem if you don't guide us. And these read purpose. You read differently, right? And please, next time add photo of this. You should be able to find this text. I have heard many talks about text. There must be photos. And 7, okay. When you were introducing this figure, you didn't really tell us this. You just say, oh, this is hotspot. That's easy to know, but we don't know what is this color. Please explain it. And you have this nice sort of concluding sentence, a little bit too long. Highlight keyword, please. And these two figures were nicely introduced, axis, meaning of the color, etc. However, I don't know if a student at the back row can read this can read this. The font is really small and it's from the paper, I know. But you can modify the figure yourself by adding larger font. Okay, because during your presentation you talk about near shore, offshore, and it took me some time to figure out, this is near shore. So add some text on the figure. And then this figure is very critical, but later I realized that in your discussion here from page 10 to 13, you were actually talking about each of these 4 points. In this case, it would be great that you can use this map again when you are talking about this pattern. So we really know which place you are talking about. And page 10, Pinniped, please add a photo. Then we know which animal you are talking about. And maybe you can tell us next time what kind of shark are these two? Like a male, female, maybe what are their age, etc. That will help us to understand because male, female seem to be different. And as I mentioned, here you have a sentence like a migration path are extremely straight. We cannot see it from here. We can only see it from here. So that's the reason you should definitely add a map. And then here, 12, you have pronounced this incorrectly 2 times. Foraging, not foraging. And then I would suggest that because these should be your key point. These should be larger than this. The image should be larger than your text. And you explain this and with some keywords, short sentence describing the main finding. Okay, we also need animal or photo of this. Does it mean baby whale? Okay. Good. So I think, and the conclusion is nicely done. As I mentioned several times, repeat what you have said in your talk shortly should be your conclusion, not something you have never done. They have never done and to be done in the future. Okay. So overall, it's a good presentation. Hope to see improvement next time. Thank you.